Thanks for staying with us here on The Pulse. Well, it's time now for our regional segment right here on The Pulse. We're taking a tour across parts of the country to gauge the mood and the pulse of Ghanaians on a number of pressing national issues. Joining us from the regions are Isaac Nonya from the Savannah region. I also have Abigail Esel in Nkrumah from the Central region. Rafik Salam is in the Upper West region and Anas Sabit is in the Bono region. I also have Natalia Kwanzaa from the Western region. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here on The Pulse. I'll start with Rafik Salam. What exactly is the mood in your region ahead of Independence Day?
The mood in the Upper West region is that of something that is good because the people are looking up to what is happening, what will happen tomorrow. A lot of activities are lined up in the Bureau district in the Upper West region. Some will be doing marching, others will also be doing a cultural display. And then as we are speaking now, the current is that the West Member of Parliament, Superintendent retired Tumu, is addressing the press on some key concerns in his constituency. You can let in and see what Honorable Superintendent can have for us.
As a member of has this come
Thank you very much. In a democracy, when you find people that express themselves, we call it freedom of expression. Is that right? And I think that has come. Democracy. So when you find a young person that is expressing, letting the world know how they feel, it's better than Portland. When people are angry or they're prevented from speaking, actually have to blow up. But what has happened from members in the past, police have sent men and women to go and just beat them up and stop them from doing what they're doing. That was it. But now we come of age. In that freedom, we'll talk about responsible citizens. The people of one West are very responsible people. We allow them to speak their mind, and leaders like us will take note and see what we can do to ensure that peace and repeat peace is back in our way. I am quite aware of the issue that you're talking about 2 young men who were kidnapped and they put them in the police, and the police are saying that the police are now also believe.
Well, we'll come back to Rafik Salam just to walk us through what he has been saying, because we had to cut that. The sound is not that audible, and I presume that at home as well you're facing the same challenge. But let's head now to the Savannah region. Isaac Nonya is there for us. Isaac, what are residents concerned about in your region, particularly farmers?
The residents are concerned about 2 particular issues. One, lack of jobs among the youth, and then lack of access to market from commercial farmers. Now, commodities like rice and maize are in abundance in warehouses to the extent that families and commercial farmers in the central region who are mainly into commercial production of rice and maize have packed them, some of them converted their private rooms into warehouses. You know, we just have a month away to the rainy season, and these farmers are saying that if things remain like this without market, they'll have to take a rest, and some of them have to go back into charcoal production. Away from this lack of market or access to ready market.
But even before you move away from that, stay there, because we recall that the president during the State of the Nation address said that some 300 million has been earmarked to help buy some of this produce. Is it the case that farmers are not receiving the monies, or they've not heard at all from the buffer stock company?
From what I heard from one commercial producer of rice, one Abdul Fattah at Central Gonja, he told me that he heard the pronouncement from the president, but he will appeal to the buffer stock to move to a regional level and buy the things. Fast forward, this is the second month. But the man said he has added more bags of rice to the about 500 maize that he already harvested, bags of maize that he has gotten. And now a single bag has not been bought from buffer stock or for any commercial, dealer. Now, one significant challenge that brought this thing to bear has to do with the closure of the borders. You know, Burkina Faso, Togo, and Cote d'Ivoire. These were two international market. The people could either come to buy, especially in Damago. Trucks will come from Burkina Faso, park in their numbers, and load a good number of maize and rice across Burkina Faso, and the vice versa. Today, that is not an issue. All the borders have been closed. You cannot export, neither can an importer. An importer comes in to buy and go out. Because of that, the market is limited to only the market women and that of the poultry producers. With the market women, they will tell you that even when they buy, the usual market, which happens to be Techima, is also battling with similar problem. And because of that, you have a good number of women who are out of business because they cannot buy and retail. And when they also go to buy, the producer will realize that a 60 kg, who used to go for 1,500 cedis in 2024, now goes for 500 cedis. As of yesterday, same bag goes to 450 in Damago, and in Tamale, 500 cedis. So if you go to Tumu in the Upper West, and then Bulinga in the West East, where I visited some time ago to have a chat with commercial producers for maize, they told me that 100 kg in Tumu was sold at 300 Ghana cedis, while in Bulinga was sold at 250. If you go to North Gonja, around 100 meters away from the business town, that place, a bag of granite goes for 300 cedis. But if you come to Damago, it goes for 600 cedis. A bag of maize goes for 300 cedis. If you come to Damago, it goes for 500 cedis. So the market is not stable, but all to the disadvantage of the farmer.
You also raised other concerns about jobs in that constituency, the region. What are residents telling you?
Well, I engaged residents in West Gonja, particularly at the Larbanga town. And they said that having invested much of their time and energy and resources into the success of the party NDC, they have nothing to show, and they have not gained anything from the party, for that matter, the government. The thing now is time for government to look up to what they have done and be able to also give them not just any job, but strategic, what they call strategic jobs. Jobs that can make them to stand on their feet and also feed their family and relations.
And stay with me, Isaac, but let me head now to the central region. Abigail Essel in Nkrumah is there for us. Abigail, what's the mood in your region, especially as we have just a few more hours to 6 March?
Right. So for tomorrow,
Abigail, I can hear you. Abigail, you have to unmute for us to hear you clearly. I'm just finding out from you what exactly the preparations are ahead of Independence Day celebration in your region. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so for several adults that I've been speaking to, tomorrow is expected to be a very normal day for them. But passing by some schools, I see some excitement with the students. You see a lot of teachers and the students training for some March events that will be happening tomorrow. So it's a mixture of excitement and nerves for the students in the region. But for adults, tomorrow is expected to be a very normal day for them.
And how is the water situation in the central region?
So currently also in some communities, the taps are not flowing. When you go to some areas in Elmina, for instance, the taps are not flowing. We've been able to speak to people at the Ghana Water Company, and they said they are working on it. But for some time now, the taps are not flowing. But we know that some residents that I've been speaking to have stored some water. They are not sure for how long they can be using what they've stored. So we are just all waiting on the Ghana Water Company to open the taps so that people are comfortable in their houses.
But we received assurances that they would be dealing with that situation, the Ghana Water Company. Have you tried engaging any of them in your region?
So I have been speaking to some management. They haven't really been open to speak to the situation currently, but mostly it's the residents that are complaining. They are complaining that for some time now they haven't had water, potable water actually. So some of them rely on streams and lakes in their areas. But engagement with Ghana Water Company has been very limited because they are not open to speak to the situation. But we are still working to interact with them to gauge what exactly is causing the closure of pipes or taps in the areas. And then we'll be bringing you reports in subsequent bulletins.
Thank you so much, Abigail. Let me bring in Rafiq Salam. I was engaging him earlier. Rafiq, in the Upper West region, are residents even reacting to this concern about this life sentence handed over to a serial killer who pleaded guilty in court? Tell us more.
The people of the Upper West region, much as they are really excited about the conviction and also the sentencing of this serial killer, Sheriff Abdullah Christophe, they are happy that he has been handed a life sentence, but they are saying that they are of the opinion that he is not the only, accomplice. He's not the only suspect in this particular case. They're saying that the police or the security agencies should dig more into the issue so that they can have several accomplices and then bring them to justice. We just spoke to a veterinary capital, like the One West member of parliament, who was really happy about what transpired in that power region. He lauded the police service here and then also the Inspector General of the Ghana Police Service for at least putting his boots down and also working to ensure that this serial killer is arrested and also sentenced to life imprisonment. But there are also concerns that are being raised here in the Upper West region regarding the issue of insecurity, and then particularly the One West district, who he spoke about, and he think that the police should at least up the ante and then work more to ensure that the district is more secure.
And Rafiq, I know you have a report on that, and we'll be playing that to our audience shortly. But then stay with me. I'll come to you to find out how preparations are ongoing in your region, especially because we know that we'll be celebrating Independence Day tomorrow. I'll also be finding out what the key concerns are for individuals in your region, because I know you've been engaging some of them. Let me move now to Anas Sabit, also joining the conversation as well. Anas, what's happening in your region?
Faustina, last week the president, addressed the nation through the State of the Nation. And in Parliament, of course, the people of the region have been talking about some three key things the president spoke about. This is purely an agrarian region. This is seen as the food basket of the country. And the announcement of the farmer service centers by the president is something that is welcome to the people of the Bono region. But what they want the government to do for that particular, policy is to focus more on irrigation. In this particular region, we have lots and lots of vegetable farmers. If you go to Chobodom, Tichiman, Kintampo, and other parts of the region, we have a lot of, farmers who are into tomato, pepper, cabbage, lettuce, and what have you. But because of the absence of irrigation facilities, they find it very, very difficult to farm all year round. And of course, with the recent issues that had to do with traders who went to Burkina Faso, and then some 8 of them losing their lives. These farmers here want government to, focus more on irrigation through the farmer service centers. They are saying if you bring tractors and other equipments here in these areas, it will not be actually helpful to them. So government should now focus on irrigation systems to help boost, agriculture or vegetable production in this region. The people, some of the people I spoke with are also concerned about, the announcement of, 3 government factories that the president announced last week, one in the eastern region, central region, and in the Bono East region. They believe that this government factory, if, it come to being, will help deal with the, huge number of unemployed youth in the region. We also know that the president announced that we're going to have a new public university in this particular region. That is also one welcoming news for most of the people have been engaging, because over the years, if you are in this region and you want to attend to any public tertiary institution or university, you have to travel out. And so they believe that should we have our own region, university in Techiman or in the Bono East region, that will help boost education entirely in the region. So these are the three major things that people here are concerned about so far as the State of the Nation address read by the President is concerned last week.
And Anas, how are preparations towards Independence Day? Is anything happening in your region?
It's quite slow, if I should put it that way. We know for sure that there's not going to be any regional, parades from the Regional Coordinating Council. And we know that the various districts are taking it up to celebrate, the day tomorrow. We know some regions, some districts will be having the parade. Others will be hosting some games and, other competitions to ensure that the day is celebrated well. But as to whether we're going to have a regional independence parade, that has been cancelled, or that is off as I speak to you now.
And let me bring back Rafiq Salam, because I'm wondering, is the situation same in the Upper West region? How are preparations towards the Independence Day? Rafiq, you have to unmute for me to hear you. Okay, while we wait for Rafiq Salam, I'm told I still have Isaac Noya. Oh, Rafiq is back. Okay. Hi, Rafiq. I was finding out in your region, what's the atmosphere like? Are people preparing towards Independence Day celebration, or like Anas, people are not really concerned about it?
I will tell you that the celebration in the Upper West region is on threefold. I'm told that the district assemblies have been given three options. One, you can decide to have a district parade. The second one, you can also do some kind of cultural activities. And then the third one, you can do competitions like quiz or football matches. And so I know districts like the West East, they have decided to do an independence parade at Fancy, the district capital. And so preparation in the Upper West region regarding the Independence Day and anniversary is ongoing, and then also they are trying to fine-tune it to make it a success.
And are residents even reacting to the recent figures released by the Statistical Service on inflation? We're seeing the numbers drop significantly.
Talking about inflation, the people will tell you that yes, it's good that you have a lower inflation, but they will tell you that they want to find inflation, they want to get it in their pocket. And so whatever that statistics that are being churned out by the government or the statisticians, they want to see it reflect in their pockets.
And as is that the case in your area? Do they want to see it reflect in their pockets?
Faustina, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, good. So we know that inflation has dropped to an all-time low. In recent years, from 2021, this is the lowest, 3.3%. However, the people here are saying they are not actually feeling it in their pockets. Food prices is still high in major markets here in the Bono East region. We also know the hike in electricity tariffs is also compounding to the hardships that people here are going through. And as I speak to you currently, we know there's a rise in fuel prices as well. Just this morning, I noticed most of the fuel stations across the region have seen a rise in their fuel prices. And this, according to some residents here, is going to make matters worse for them, because if food, electricity, and fuel are all rising at this state, irrespective of the low or lower inflation rate, they believe that things are really going to be hard for them in the coming years with the Israel, US, and then Iran war in mind. So inflation is low, all right, but the people here are actually not feeling that in their pockets.
But talking about the war, though, what have they been saying about it? I'll come to all of you to find out if residents in your community are concerned about the impact of the US-Iran war. But I'll start with Anas.
So Faustina, the people here I engage, especially the Muslim community, we are in the Mount of Ramadan, and a lot of them are already preparing to embark on the Hajj activity, which is a couple of months away. They are quite disturbed. Some do not know whether this war is going to last that long, and if it should do, they are very worried that it might affect their trip to the Holy Land to observe, that religious obligation. Others are also saying that, like we saw during the NPP administration when the Russian-Ukraine war started, how things were difficult for the people of the country, precisely with regards to fuel and the cost of living. They believe that if this war should be prolonged, Ghanaians are going to feel the pinch of that particular war here in the region as well.
And stay with me. Let me go to Isaac Nonya now, who is also joining us live. Isaac, I spoke to you earlier, but I just want to find out, are residents in your community reacting to the inflation figures we're seeing?
Well, they're reacting indirectly. Reacting indirectly in the sense that commodities that concern them regarding some of this inflation have to do like water and electricity bills. They have seen a jump of water prices per gallon, jerrycan, and that of electricity bills. Previously, a jerrycan of water used to go for 1 cedi 50 pesos. I will speak, one goes for 200 cedis. And if you know if there's any issue that have hunted them and go for decades, it is water, access to potable water. And a period like this, you see a good number of people even battling to get people to be able to supply them water. That aside, the cost of electricity this period is, according to people, you go and buy, and within weeks, you run out of credit. And to the extent that landlords and tenants are having issues regarding the authenticity of the wiring of their houses and the way they live. Now, back to the farmer and that of the access to market issue. Now, Savannah region is known for its agricultural activities. If you come to a region now, what the farmers are saying is that they have a farmer group called the Savannah Farmers Brigade. This is the association that hosts almost all commercial farmers in the region. Now, if government should be able to extend to make do with its buffer stock pronouncement, then they should come to the region, not just come, but they should be seen buying the goods at the regional level. So they're calling on the president to get back to the ground and make sure that the buffer stock is seen buying the product from the farmers on the ground. If not that, farmers, I'm sure many of them, according to them, will not go into production, large-scale production comes April and the subsequent months for the 2026-2027 farming season.
And Isaac, are they reacting to the U.S.-Iran war and the possible implications?
Well, not directly. We have individuals who sit in groups and think that this thing would definitely affect their pocket. Why? Because if fuel prices goes up internationally, it will trickle down to the country and then to the region. Once the shortage hits government cannot able to receive the shock, but to balance it on producers, consumer on the ground. So they are reacting, but not loudly.
Okay, stay with me, gentlemen, because I'll come back to you for your final words. But going back to Rafik's region, because in that region a lot has been happening. I'm taking you to Wa. Residents there say that they are welcoming the life sentence handed down to a serial killer, a 31-year-old cobbler, Sharif Abdullahi, who confessed to killing 16 people in the Upper West region and 5 others in the Savannah region. There's more in the following report.
Yes, we are not actually happy to the judgment sentences to Sharif in life and prison. But actually, when it comes to law, it's always critical. So far as he is pled guilty on the court of law. But if not, to our sense of understanding, that series of killing cannot involve in a single person. Yeah, as it states, they told us earlier on that we should all be vigilant. But as investigation was going on, it was not only Sharif that they apprehend in the police station. But why is it that we hear nothing about the case?
Yes, I'm very happy with the sentence because he pleaded guilty to the act. So that's why I'm happy. So if he's actually the one that committed the act, then I'm happy for the sentence. It will serve as a deterrent if there are other people who are involved in such acts. So it will serve as a deterrent to them.
Well, some residents there in Wa just sharing their thoughts about the sentence handed over to that serial killer. It's quite shocking. Rafiq, I know you're still with us. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how one individual can kill that much people. But walk us through what transpired in court. I know you were in court as well.
To be honest, I was around the court. I was not inside the court.
Okay.
But the information that we indicated that the accused person who is now being sentenced, Sharif Abdullahi, pleaded guilty to the charges level against him. On his own plea to life imprisonment.
And this is shocking, really. As we speak, we know that residents are still shocked, but in the area, is security actually tight enough? Have they beefed up security on the back of his admission?
Yeah, for the past 3, 4, 5 years, I want this to pop up in the region. Many people in Wa, particularly those who own shop bars, restaurants, and also some of the busy places that are in Wa in the night, they were closing before their real time. So the life activities or the nightlife activities of the people of the Wa Central was somehow curtailed. But ever since this Sharif Abdullahi guy was arrested, at least it has brought some kind of confidence into the people here, and then now people are going around their activities well. But you raised one important issue which has to do with whether it is Sharif Abdullahi, whether it was he alone who actually all these 23 personalities, and that's what most people in the streets of Wa are also talking about. They think that the act that occurred between 2021 and about 2025 simple, was sophisticated, and they think that only one person couldn't have committed such an act. And so they would like the police to delve deep into this issue and then to bring other accomplices to also to book.
And then as we wrap up with all of you, I'll start with Rafiq. Your expectations for tomorrow and what should we even expect from you? I'll come to Rafiq for that, but let me head now to Isaac Nonya. Regarding 6 March, I know tomorrow you'll be on duty. Thankfully, I will not be on duty, but then what should we expect from you?
Well, obviously, we want to hear from residents what they think about this year's 6 March, and if you have any impacts considering previous celebrations in their lives. And just to touch on where Rafiq dropped or ended, the same convict that they just convicted, executed similar things at Bole and that of Solatuna Kaba districts. And in fact, he was identified and suspected by a resident. He used to come around like as a cobbler in the market. But one resident suspected him not to be genuine. But he was not taken serious by the police until he was arrested in Upper West. That is the point. But what residents in general, Savannah region, we need to hear from government as in the form of cushioning, is to open the borders for them to be able to trade their hard-earned produce. Remember, they purchased the inputs and produced enough until this ban came. So in order to get back to business, including input dealers, they will not be able to sell as before because these commercial farmers will not go back to the market once they are not going to produce in large scale. And then the water issue in Damago in particular. I think it's high time that government should get its act together and come to the aid of the people to be able to address this water situation once and for all, because cholera cases in Damago in particular, I know you go to the St. Anne Catholic Hospital, if you don't get cholera cases close to 10 or 7, that means you have not seen any case yet. It has even dominated the OBD case, which have used to be that of malaria. So these are the issues that concern, Ghanaians or residents in Savannah region, particularly at the regional capital.
And then, Anas, as we wrap up, what should we expect from you tomorrow with the Independence Day coverage? Anas, you have some mute for me to hear you clearly.
Yes, so like we know, if it has to do with matters happening across the country, then JoyNews is the most reliable platform. And whatever is going to happen here in the Bono East region, will be all over to report on how the people here are marking the 69th independence anniversary celebration of the country. So we'll be on the grounds, we'll tell the stories of what the people are saying and then what authorities are doing so far as this particular day is concerned.
Thank you, Anas. And I'm wrapping up with Rafiq as well. What should we expect from you?
Here, all the 11 municipal districts in the Upper West region will be celebrating this particular day, and then we'll have our ears on the ground. Particularly, our focus will be on the Nadoli Keleo district and also the One West district. And so, definitely, we'll bring everything to you. But I wanted to say that as Nonya actually took the wind out of my sails talking about this maize glut, in the northern belt of the country. If you go to, like he stated, if you go to the Sasala area, there are lots of maize, several thousand tons of maize in that particular area. And so the people are really appealing to the government to come to the aid. We talk about buffer stock. The president made mention of buffer stock, that they have been giving some money to come and then also, take care of these issues. But I want to report to you that this money never came to the Upper West region. The money is insignificant, and so they need to bring more to help out to build our people out. Yes, some few months ago, we're going into the farming season. And then many farmers are really wondering. Even some of them are even trying to take.
Oh dear.
Hello?
Rafiq, we could hear you,
Hello?
but we lost you briefly. Hello? Rafiq, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you now.
Great. Just finalize on that point for me.
I'm talking about the issue of the maize glut in the Upper West region. I actually said that Isaac Anonya actually took the wind out of my sails here in the Upper West region, particularly the Sisal Enclave, the food basket of the Upper West region. We can report to you that there are a lot of maize, several thousands of tons of maize in the Sisala Enclave, and so they are appealing to the government to come to their aid. Some farmers are at a loss. They just don't know what to do now with their maize, and so government. President Mahama announced that buffer stock was instructed to go in to buy some of these maize. But I can tell you that the money that was given to the buffer stock company, the farmers are saying that it's insignificant. It was not able to take care of their produce here. And so they are appealing to the government to come to their aid.
Thank you so much, Rafiq. I'm looking forward to your report with your signature ending tomorrow from my home. I'll be watching you as well. Well, still on regional stories, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagwing, has called for stringent measures in deploying technology in the training of learners at the various levels of education. According to him, technology, though an important training tool, threatens the moral upbringing of children due to its distractive nature. Speaking at an event in the Whole West District of the Volta region, Bagwing said the use of technology in education could threaten the country's future. Here's why.
The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagwing, joined the chiefs and people of the Awudome traditional area to commission a rehabilitated traditional council in Anyirawasi. He also cut the sword for the construction of an 8-unit classroom block for the Anyirawasi EP Primary School to enhance access to education in the area. Addressing the gathering, Mr. Bagwing underscored the need to protect the country's cultural heritage, emphasizing the role of chieftaincy in maintaining peace in Ghana.
Chieftaincy is the binding force that has held our nation and its people together for centuries. And there is a lot to learn from chieftaincy. That is one of the features that have been identified by researchers to show why Ghana is a land of peace in the middle of a struggle sub-region called West Africa. It's because of our chieftaincy tradition. They are able to solve differences, micro differences, at that level, preventing them from magnifying themselves to become national crises.
Mr. Bagbin, who is also Togbinu Tefewola Awudoma I, outlined the dangers of the use of technology in training the younger generation as it contributes to moral decadence.
We must not allow technology to destroy the future of our children. In fact, in some Scandinavian countries, they've gone back to the blackboard and the chalk. They are moving away from computer back to the manual learning because of the destructive effect of the computer. We must not allow this to destroy the future of our children, but assist them to become a better version of themselves.
The Awudome traditional authorities lauded Mr. Bagbin's interest in development and called for further support to strengthen the chieftaincy institution in the area. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Anyawase.
And that's how I wrap up the polls. I appreciate your time and company. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. Some top stories that we told you about. The Clocksack strike, they have declared a nationwide strike, and that is to take effect from Monday. My name is Faustina Safa. Have a pleasant day as you enjoy the rest of our programs. Good afternoon.